Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga Moments. I'm Janice, and today we have a flow for some lower body strength. So if you've seen some previous videos, we've done some upper body work. Now it's time to balance that out with some lower body strength. So we are going to start today at the top of our mat. We have a nice full flow today, and we're going to jump right on in. So finding this alignment, pressing into all four corners of our feet, lifting up from the arches. And just finding that engagement through our legs. We're going to lift up from the pelvic floor, draw our navel in and up, finding this nice long line up through the front body, and then letting our shoulders come together behind us, letting our tailbone be heavy, and just checking in here. So if it feels good to you, bring your hands to your heart. You might tuck your chin ever so slightly, and just take a moment here, connect with your breath. Notice what's going on today. And then when you're ready, flutter your eyes open. We're going to inhale, drop our hands, bend our knees, sweep our arms up nice and high. Exhale, forward fold. So bring your hands towards the earth. Bend your knees if you need to. Bring your tummy to your thighs and just notice how you feel. If this is the first thing you are doing today, congratulations. But you might find yourself a little stiffer than you would like. That's okay. Let your head hang heavy here. It should feel really good. Walk it out side to side, finding what feels good. And then press into all four corners of your feet. Rise up, slide up, stack your spine. Come up to the top, and we'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, reach them forward. And come all the way into our forward fold, or Uttanasana here. Bring your tummy to your thighs. Head hangs heavy. You might even consider shaking it yes and no. Finding a little movement in your neck. Bend your knees. Just find a little bit of organic movement, whatever feels good to you. And then when you're ready, wiggle your toes. Press into all four corners of your feet. Lift up from the arches. And we're going to come all the way up. So finding this alignment one more time. And we're going to maintain it as we go throughout our practice here. So finding that lift up through the arches. And we're going to look down at our toes. Spread your toes as wide as you can and bend your knees. Play with where your weight is. So find a little stretch in your feet, knowing that everything is connected. So if we're going to build strength in our lower body, in our legs and our hips, then we definitely need to have strong feet to support us as well. So spread your toes. You might pick them up. Try and lower one toe at a time. Working the muscles in your feet. Little tiny muscles, lots of tendons. So find what feels good and just explore. Be playful. There's no right or wrong to this. Hopefully you found a little sensation that feels really good. And then we're going to find our alignment. Find that engagement up through the legs. Lift the kneecaps. And we're going to bring our attention to our pelvis. So if you imagine your pelvis like a bowl of water, we're going to tip it forward, dump the water out, and then we're going to draw our abdomen up, lift the top of the pelvis or the front of the pelvis, and tip it out the back. So lowering that tailbone. Inhale to center, exhale, tip it forward. Inhale to center, exhale, dump it back. So just finding a little mobility here in our pelvis. Really good for the lower back. Really good for the hips. Really good overall just for our posture. A lot of times we want to sit up nice and tall and our pelvis isn't pointing up. So now we have to overcome the angle of our pelvis. So just finding a little more mobility in there today. Should feel really good. And then when you're ready, come on back to center. Find a nice standing Tadasana. So our mountain pose, pressing into all four corners, Shoulder blades come together, this nice line of energy up the front body. This nice grounding down the back body. Should feel really good. And then when you're ready, we're gonna bend our knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. From here, we plant our hands on either side of our feet, and we're gonna step the left foot back. Immediately pivot on your back foot. So if you were to look at your feet, your front heel is in line with your back heel or the arch of your back foot. We're gonna press into all four corners of our feet. Front knee is over front ankle, and we're gonna inhale, come up into warrior two. So now that you're here, take a moment, congratulate yourself, fix your hair if you need to, and make any adjustments you need. So yoga is not about getting it perfect. Make sure your front knee is over your front ankle. If you need to widen your stance, go for it. So make adjustments as you need, finding what feels good for you. You might shorten your stance, who knows? Either way, when you're set, take a look down over your front knee. You should be able to see your big toe. Arms are going to come out. Shoulder blades are going to squeeze together. Press into all four corners of your feet. Lift up from the arches. And then imagine squeezing those feet together so they're not going to move. But what they will do is really engage your legs here. So really squeeze. You might even try to sink just a little bit lower. Heart is lifted. Tailbone is heavy. Squeeze your sit bones together. Squeeze your feet together. Shoulder blades together on your back. You got this. Breathe here. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your left hand, drop it all the way down, pivot on your back foot. Arms are going to come all the way up. We're going to exhale, lower down. So high lunge to low lunge here. Keep your toes curled up behind you. We're going to inhale, press up. Find your high lunge. Exhale, lower down. So finding connection here with your breathing. Let your tailbone be a little heavy. Heart lifts. And then we're going to inhale, press up. High lunge. Squeeze your thighs towards the midline. Use a wall or a chair if you need a little help with balance. And exhale, lower down. We're going to keep our arms up. Slide our front leg back. If you need to come down to do it, go for it. But see if you can challenge yourself today. My back toes are going to go flat. I have a 90 and a 90 going on here with my legs. Arms are going to be up. The right hand is going to drop. So I've got this nice knee to hand connection. I'm going to reach over top towards the right. Shoulders come away from the ears. Tuck that pelvis underneath. Find that stretch in the front of your front of your left hip, left quad. Breathe here. On your next exhale, release your arm. We're going to slide our right foot back so that it's pretty much even with our knee. So this is our strength component today. We're going to reach forward, find your balance here. So arms can come out. Don't worry about grace for now. Have a wall if you need a hand, but challenge yourself. We're going to inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. If you need a blanket under your knee, go for it. Pause the video. We're going to inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. One more. If it's available to you, you might keep your back toe off the ground, or you might just use it a little tiny bit. If you're just starting, use it. Absolutely. Find what works. Get familiar with the feeling, the sensation, and then we'll fine tune it from there. So keeping our heart lifted, finding our balance one more time. Press up, and then exhale, lower down with control. We're going to plant our hands. Reach our left foot back, or left heel back, and then step the right foot back. Exhale, lower down. Chaturanga to up dog or cobra, your choice. Press into all 10 fingers, and I'll meet you in downward facing dog. Pedal it out here. Should be feeling a little warm. And then when you're ready, we're going to take our left foot, step it all the way up. You can do it in one step, you can do it in 10. Either way, if you've shown up, Congratulations. Congratulate yourself. Celebrate that. And celebrate however many steps it takes, because I know some people do it in 4 steps. That's okay. We're going to pivot on our back foot. I'm just glad you guys show up and put into yourselves. Celebrate yourself. So now we're going to check our foundation. Front foot is in line with our back foot, or the heel of our back foot. Press into all 4 corners of both feet. Front knees over front ankle. Inhale, rise up into warrior 2. I'm going to quickly just pivot here so that I'm facing you guys. Checking my foundation, making adjustments where we need to. So front knees over front ankle. If I look down, I see my big left toe. Arms are going to come out. Squeeze your feet together. Push into all 4 corners, lift up from the arches. Squeeze your sit bones together, and you might try and sink just a little bit lower. So heart is lifted. You got this. Shoulder blades together. We're going to exhale, drop our right arm, pivot into high lunge. You got this. We're going to exhale, lower all the way down. Take a breath here if you need. Inhale, press up. So squeezing our thighs towards the midline, pressing our feet down into the earth. We're going to exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down with control, slowly. And then we're going to keep our arms up. Walk our front foot back so we're in a 90 and 90. Left arm's going to come down. Right arm's going to reach over top. You got this. Find a moment to breathe here. Tuck your pelvis underneath if you're not feeling that stretch in the front of your quad or the side of your hip. And we'll exhale, lower our arm. You got this. And then we're going to walk our knee and our foot, or the heel of our foot, pretty close together. We're going to find our balance here. Heart is lifted, pelvic floor, navel still lifted, so I'm still finding this alignment. Again, back toe can be up or down, depending on how familiar or how strong you are. That's okay. If you're just starting out, yes, you got this. All right, have a little fun here. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down with control. Inhale, press up. Notice how one side is very different than the other, usually. Until you've practiced, we'll exhale, lower down with control. One more time. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. All right, we're going to plant the hands. Curl our right toes, reach back through our heel. Step the left foot back to meet it. And we'll either chaturanga to up dog or cobra. Either way, we'll meet in downward dog. And take one moment of stillness here. So find your downward dog, press into all 10 fingers. One full sweet breath. Create some space between your shoulders and your ears. And then we'll exhale, lower down. We're going to send it right into child's pose. So find places to soften. Bring your arms back towards your feet, or your hands back towards your feet. Breathe here. And just notice how you feel. Alrighty. We're going to inhale, bring our hands up in front of us. And come back into tabletop here. And we're going to curl the toes. Send our hips up into downward dog. And step it up towards the front of our mat. Rise up, inhale. Find what feels good here. Rotate your shoulders. And I'm going to just step to the front of my mat because, well, this just feels normal to me. So if you're like me and you're like, but this is the top, then I totally get it. So from here, we're going to walk our toes together. Shake your legs out if you need. Should feel good. And just put like a thumbprint between your heels. We're going to find this nice long alignment, and then we're going to send our hips back. So squeeze your thighs together Coming into chair pose, arms are going to be either horizontal or up. See if you can send the weight back into your heels. Send your hips back. Keep your heart lifted. On your exhale, push your hands down. Come into airplane arms. Come up on your tippy toes. Keep squeezing your thighs together. You got this. Look down into a wishing well. Maybe you make a wish. Inhale. Throw that beach ball up. Throw some energy up. Come back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Send your hips back, maybe a little bit lower this time. We're going to exhale, push your arms down, come up into drinking bird. If you feel yourself shaking, great, you're moving energy, transforming your body. And then we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, come back into Tadasana, so standing pose. Take a moment here and notice how you feel. You might bring your hands to your heart. Find your breath, lift your sternum. Alrighty. Open your eyes. We're almost there. We're going to step back into a little bit of a wide-legged stance. So my toes are going to turn out towards the corners of my mat horizontally, so in the long way. I guess it's horizontally to me. And we're going to exhale, find this nice alignment, exhale, lower down. So coming into goddess pose, and I totally encourage you, find what you like today. So you might lift one toe or one heel. You might lift the other heel. See if you can keep your heart lifted like you've gone down a wall. Open your hips, thighs externally rotating. And you might even see if you can find your center, whatever that means to you, and then keep it level, but you might just slide it one way or the other. Notice where your body starts to engage and shake and change. You got this. So very controlled here. Just playing and having fun. So as much as, yeah, we're going to get fit and we're going to get strong, we're going to do it with kindness. We're going to have fun while doing it. So it shouldn't be a chore and it shouldn't feel that kind of dread, like, oh, I have to do this. It should be, yay, let's explore and play. We'll come back to center, lower down for one breath. Inhale here. And then on your next inhale, press up. You got this. All right. We're going to walk our stance in just a little bit. So I'm a little wider than hip and shoulder width. Toes are turned out still. Hands are going to come to your heart. And from your center, we're going to lower down. So the legs are going to bend at the knee and the hip and the ankle. We're going to come down into a squat. If this is not your favorite pose, I totally get it. Find a little movement. Come up a little if you have to. Lift the heels if you have to. Don't worry if your heels are on the ground or not. Find a little movement. And then we'll come back to center. Hands to our heart. Inhale, press all the way up. You got this. Inhale. Should feel really good. Maybe a little challenging. We're going to exhale, lower down. This is our last one, so make it count. All right, when you're here, see if you can press your elbows against your knees against your elbows. Doesn't matter if your hands are flat. Find one moment of stillness. We'll exhale, release. Bring our hands behind us. We're almost there, guys. I promise you got this. We're going to come right onto our back. And we're going to hug the knees right into our chest right away. Should feel really good. From here, we're going to hug the left leg in. Right leg is going to reach up. So it doesn't matter if your knee is bent. Doesn't matter if it's straight. Rotate your ankle. Find what feels good here. You might flex and point the toes. Flex your toes up towards your face. Reach through the heel. And then we're going to extend the right leg. Now, here's the fun part. You're going to hug your right leg into your hip and reach through your right heel at the same time. So finding that opposition, all the while hugging your left foot in, keeping your left toes active. I am letting my right heel hover just off the ground. On your next inhale, hug the right leg in. So hugging them both in. This time we're going to reach up with the left foot. Right toes are active. Rotate your ankle. Or rotate your left foot. If your ankle snaps and cracks, no worries. And then reach your left toes towards your face. Reach through your left heel up towards the sky. If your knee isn't straight, don't worry. It will get there, I promise. I struggled with that for a long time, and it does eventually get straight. So we're going to exhale, reach the left heel all the way down. I'm going to let it just hover off the mat. And I'm going to hug my left leg into my hip and reach through my left heel. So finding that opposition. Feeling a little bit warm. And then I'm going to inhale, hug my left leg in, squeeze my knees up towards my chest, rock it out here. If you want, you're welcome to take a happy baby. You're welcome to do a spinal twist, anything that your body needs or is asking for. Find what feels good to you. And then when you're ready, right leg is going to extend, left leg is going to extend. I'm going to press into my head, tuck my shoulders underneath my back, kind of like folding in my wings. And I'm going to settle into a very welcome Shavasana here. So softening through my eyes and my jaw, my heart, my hips. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me and spending this time on yourself, because you're amazing and you deserve that. So from my heart to yours, Namaste.